Yeah, yeah.
You're so patient. Me? Mm-hmm. You're a patient dude.
It's 7 p.m. I'll call to order the meeting of the Middlebury Development Review Board for December 12th, 2016. First item, are there any communications from the public on any item not on the agenda? Hearing none. The second item is the approval of minutes of 10/24/2016. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the minutes.
It's been moved to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Been seconded. Any questions, comments, changes? Hearing none. All in favor of the approval of the minutes for October 24th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm abstaining. I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay. The minutes for November 14th, we will have to delay since we don't have the members here that can vote on it. So,
Did you get Tom's name?
first item on the business agenda is an application by Middlebury College
Two ends.
for subdivision review of the Adirondack View in Ridgeline Residential Halls. This is an after-the-fact approval for creating the lease lots. The site plan and buildings were previously approved as a PUD amendment in June 2015. This property is located at Adirondack View Drive, parcel number 26017 in the institutional zoning district. Okay, if you would like to just come forward and briefly state your name.
I'm Tom McGinn. I'm with Middlebury College Facility Services. And evidently, the laws of Vermont, the state of Vermont, require that, say that a leased property constitutes a subdivision. And the college and the town, and Jen might be able to explain this better than me, were not aware of that when approval was given for the project. So as the closing went through for the developer, Kershaw Campus Properties, it came to light during the closing procedure. So we are back asking for an after-the-fact approval, a subdivision approval for the project.
Who owns the land?
Middlebury College owns the land.
And who owns the building?
Kershaw Campus Properties.
But okay, I guess what we did the last time is not right.
What you did last time was perfectly right. It's just that the previous planner made an error and should have warned it as a planned unit development review and a subdivision. And so the warning didn't have subdivision in it.
Okay.
And then your approval didn't have subdivision in it, and the approval also didn't reference these lease lots. And so since our regulations include leases under the definition of subdivision, just to make it tidy for the attorneys, we just need to, after the fact, do the subdivision portion of your previous approval.
Nothing changes then?
Nothing changes, but the state of Vermont defines a leased property as a subdivision, and that's the situation.
And the proposed subdivision that's shown meets the dimensional requirements of our code.
So we can do the motion, right?
Any other comments from the board? Questions? Since no one is here from the public, I don't foresee any public input, so if the board is ready for a motion, would somebody like to make it?
I move that the Middlebury Development Review Board, having reviewed the application submitted and having heard and duly considered the testimony presented at the public hearing of December 12th, 2016, approve this request for subdivision of leased lots for four student residential facilities. Parent parcel is 26017, located on Adirondack View Road and Ridgeline Road.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Further discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank
So
you
they
very
get their permit they don't have to wait, do they now? I mean, when,
Yeah, well, we can issue that permit right away.
Yeah.
Yep,
Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
yeah,
thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys, I appreciate that.
Okay, item 2.
What?
other business.
Other business.
We have any coming toward us?
Anyone?
Any new business coming?
I don't know. How's it look? Anything new coming?
No, we don't have anything up yet.
Jen, I had a conversation with Kevin earlier before the meeting. And like many others on this board, I was under the impression that we had continuous jurisdiction over certain projects.
That's what your past decisions say.
Kevin tells me that that's not totally correct.
We don't believe that that would be legally defensible if challenged, and so I'm not putting that in any of your new decisions. But we could always give it a whirl on an old decision and see what happens.
Well, I had a complaint about a particular project on Airport Road where the person came in and indicated what he wanted to do and the type of business he wanted to run, and he promised that it wouldn't turn out to be a form of a junkyard or a collection of old automobiles in front of his building. And I think at the time, we stipulated that he could only have 3 vehicles in front of the building, and all the rest of the vehicles need to be parked in the rear.
So that's different. If you have a condition in your decision and they violate a condition, that's a zoning violation. So I can enforce it as a zoning violation.
Okay.
I have a question. Don't we have continuing jurisdiction over all PUDs? In other words, if they make a change, don't they have to apply for it?
That's true, yep. If there's, you would have to decide if it was a substantial change or not. Usually I make that decision, and if I'm not sure, I have you make the decision. Yep.
sure. Okay.
But what I thought Don was referring to is,
No, I know he's referring
you
to
know what I
something
mean, right?
different. Yeah.
Some conditions actually said continuing jurisdiction.
Well, say a one person rather than a PUD or one lot.
Sometimes there would be a condition in there, and it looked to me like something maybe the board wasn't sure about. And then that condition would say, you know, the parking or the traffic is under continuing jurisdiction, meaning that the board could call them back up if the traffic got out of hand. And I don't think that's legally defensible, and our attorney doesn't either.
I think I
Yeah.
know the one.
But it is in Act 250, and maybe that's where that got borrowed from.
Would the correct approach to that be to put a condition that the applicant stipulates no large truck traffic, no truck traffic on the street?
Yeah, you could create a variety of conditions. I think the right way to deal with it is for the board to require whatever they need, or continue the hearing if they have to, and make an actual decision on that topic, rather than kind of leaving it open-ended, using continuous jurisdiction.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what we did in that, whether we did put conditions. That's the testimony of the applicant said that this is what he would do.
So that
But I-
sounds like something,
But I'm not sure, I don't know whether,
We had some conditions. There
Did
was
we?
only so many pieces of equipment in the
Okay.
front. Everything else was in the back.
Right, and there was, remember, it would be out of sight because it had the terrain that you wouldn't see it.
an offense?
And a fence, there'd have to be a fence out.
so those are the kinds of things that we can go out and check on. And
I
ask
guess
him,
you'd have to look at what, I don't recall, and I'm not sure that, I know there was 3 vehicles, I think, in the front.
Yeah, I remember.
And I know there was a fence and different things, but I don't know what else there was in my memory.
What I'm, from your standpoint, it would behoove us, if we want to make sure something is going to happen, make it a condition,
Yeah.
no matter what, whether the applicant agrees to it or not.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Because sometimes, I don't know, if we always do that.
So an example of that would be the co-op. I know that, we were not sure about the parking provided for the co-op, and so that condition ended up saying, if the lease that you have with Remora LLC ever in the future changes, then you need to come up with that number of spaces in some other manner, as opposed to saying, we have continuing jurisdiction over parking.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Easier to deal with.
yeah, it's easier to
Set
enforce
out,
for sure.
okay. Anything else? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.
Were you?